Good morning, students. Today we will study about the evolution of man. You know, the human beings have been on this earth quite a before. It was millions of years before when the humans ancestors have appeared on the earth. So we will study about the man's evolution from prehistoric times to the modern man. So there were the pre-human ancestors. We have got all the evidences from the fossils only. We have got the fossils, and according to the characters, they have been named by the different scientists. Like the most common ones which we have found were the Propaleopithecus, Egyptopithecus, Limnopithecus, Proconsul, Dryopithecus, Oreopithecus, and Ramapithecus. They are considered as pre-human ancestors. The Propaleopithecus and Egyptopithecus, as you can see in the figure, they were known as the first known apes. They lived about 30 to 35 million years ago in the Oligocene period of the earth. They were short-statured and monkey-like in teeth. As you can see, they are just appearing like a monkey. The Egyptopithecus were similar to Propaleopithecus. Then came on the earth the Limnopithecus and the Pleopithecus. They existed in the Miocene and Pliocene period of the evolution, and they are now considered to be the ancestors of modern gibbons and orangutans. Then came the Proconsuls. They were found from the East Africa and Kenya. Their fossils were there, and there were very few parts which we have got on the earth. They were having, we have studied about their molars. They had the 5 cusps in each molar, and they used to walk on the 4 legs. Then came the Dryopithecus. The Dryopithecus are considered to be close to the modern chimpanzee, which you can see in the zoos. So the arms and legs were of the same length. That was a peculiar feature of them. And they had the semi-erect posture, that you can say they were slightly moving towards the erect posture of the modern man. They had the large canines and incisors, and they fed on leaves and fruits, or you can say mostly they were not carnivorous. Then came the Oreopithecus and Ramapithecus. They had the broad basin like pelvic girdle. You can see they are having the semi-erect posture, and the pelvic girdle is having a broad base in the figure. They had the man-like teeth and jaws. In the Ramapithecus, the canines were small, but the molars were broad and flattened so that they can chew easily. And their diet included the seeds and nuts which they used to found in the forest. Then came the evolution of the man in the Pleistocene period. They are considered to be more closer to the man. So they were called as Australopithecus. They had the fully bipedal locomotion. Their vertebral column had distinct lumbar curve. They lived in small groups. That means they had some social life. They had protruded jaws. The jaws were not, you can say, almost flattened. They were protruded in the front. And they had the very heavy eyebrow ridges. The jaws and teeth were larger than those of modern man. Then came the Homo habilis, which we call it as tool maker because they used the tools for hunting. They walked fully straight with the cranial capacity of 700 to 800 cc in the brain. You can see in the figure there is an erect posture. They were mostly carnivorous because they used hunting and hunting tools. Their tools were made up of stone. They used visual signals and simple audible sounds for communicating. Then came the Homo erectus. You can say the genus is Homo and the species was Erectus. Under this category, there are the Java man and the Peking man. The Java man we have studied more. It had the cranial capacity of 940 cc. The height was more than 5 feet. They weighed about 70 kgs as the normal modern human, you can say. And the forehead was low and slanting. Jaws were massive and huge teeth were there. The chin was absent because the jaws were massive, so the chin could not be there. Then they had bony eyebrow ridges present over the eyes, and their molars were small, but the frontal teeth were large and more prominent, so that they can tear the flesh as they used to be the carnivorous. Then came the Peking man. They were very similar to the Java man, except with the bony eyebrow ridges. You can see in the sculpture here, they were the bony eyebrow ridges. Then the larger cranial capacity was there as compared to the early ones. It increased to 850 to 1200 cc. Then came the Neanderthal man. This man is also considered to be more close to human beings. Their body was heavily built with the outward curved skull bones. The skull bones were thick, you can say more strong. The forehead was low and slanting, and the eyebrow ridges were still heavy. The jaws was deep with the no chin. The cranial capacity, now you see it can increase so much from the 800 to the 1450 cc. So they used symmetrical and sharp tools for the stones and flakes for the hunting, and they killed larger animals. And they have started a new ritual, you can say, to bury their dead. So they became more social and more concerned about their each other. Then came the Cro-Magnon man. You can see it is similar to the more closer to the modern man. It had the large skull, broad base, with no eyebrows ridges, which were present in the early ancestors. The cranial capacity has increased so much; it has increased to 1600 cc, and they were swift-footed and cave dwellers. Again, a new feature they adopted, that was they started living in caves. The stone, again they used the stone tools for the making the for hunting purpose, and they had the moed ornaments also for the ivory for decorating themselves. And they had the drawn paintings and made sculptures, which you have already heard that we have found in some caves, some paintings and sculptures. When you visit the ancient caves, you can see them. Then came the modern man, ultimately Homo sapiens sapiens. The Homo is the genus, sapiens is the species, and the sapiens is again subspecies. So that is the modern man which you and all of us are. That is what was there. It was the advancement in farming techniques was there. Domestication of cattle, dogs and sheep started. The establishment of towns and cities came, and the extraction of metals from the ores and their use in arrows, potteries and even ornaments have been started by the modern man. So these were the main stages of the evolution of man. I think all of you have understood. So again we can say in the modern man, what we are seeing at present in whole over the world, there are three distinct races. The modern man had appeared 11 to 10,000 years ago in Asia near the Caspian Sea. From here they migrated in the three directions and formed three distinct races that you also can easily see. The one were the white or the Kusrites race that spread in Mediterranean shores in Europe, Southwest Asia and North Africa. So that is why they are somewhat different from our Indians. Then came the black or Negroid stage. They developed in Africa and Malaysia. They are again different from our Asians. Then are the Mongoloid race. They spread in the North and East Siberia and in China. So these are the three different races which we are at present also we are seeing in the world. So this was all about the evolution of man. Thank you.